To be honest, boxing's never seen nothing like this in the history of boxing. Since it began 250 years ago, it's never seen anything like this. I believe this is going to be great for boxing. I believe we're going to win.
He's going to have, after the fight is over, then so be it. I'm already in a no-win situation anyway. To me, it's a win-win. But I'm in a no-win because if I knock him out fast in the first round, they're going to be like, oh man, this wasn't worth it. If I let it go a few rounds and drag it out, they're going to be like, oh man.
I've always been in the gym training. And I'm boxing professional fighters. Activity is great. I had 15 fights in 1 year when I was younger. And I think activity is great, but I'm prepared. I'm just ready.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson go into a heated face-to-face meeting as both boxing legends exchange intense words, and tension quickly builds between them.
Shouldn't even bring that shit up no more.
No, they should bring it up. Okay. They should see the difference from there to now.
Gotcha.
Me at my worst, to me at the biggest event in the history of events right now. There's never been any bigger than this. So what they have to say about that?
What does that say about you if you lose?
Well, I'm not gonna lose. So I can't even fathom losing. I can't even imagine it. I think he thinks this is gonna be a very easy night. It's not gonna be an easy night for me.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. remains confident in their heated face-to-face, fully himself, ready to prove he still has that skill and fire.
Keep it on cruise control, go out there, have some fun, and do what I do best. And that's be Floyd.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. remains extremely confident during the face-to-face, staying fully himself and ready to prove he still has the same skill and fire.
Fighters waiting for his money. By the time he gets his money, everybody else took their percentage out already. So you don't know who's who. You get what they give you.
You look good. How you feeling physically?
Incredible.
You've been training?
Listen, I was wearing an extra large. It looks like I wear a large.
Mike Tyson says he is fully prepared for the challenge, training harder than ever and looking sharp while feeling confident that he can rise to the occasion.
I'm in a perfect place now. Where's Mike? Put everything together. So mentally, physically, we're excited, man. Excited. If the fight was next Saturday, you will be ready for it. We talk about Roy was 4 years ago. Today, Mike is much better than he was when he fought.
Rafael Cordero, Mike Tyson trainer, says Tyson is in better shape and sharper now than he was during his fight against Roy Jones Jr.
Okay. Calm, be relaxed.
Good. Round one. Oh. Few. Cut the ring. Exactly. Cut the ring. Exactly.
Mike Tyson is fully sharp in training camp, sparring at full power, pushing his limits and preparing intensely for the upcoming challenge.
It's easy because Floyd always was the bad guy. Once again, he's gonna be the bad guy. And I think that if there's any way to try to remove his O, it may happen.
Jeff Mayweather says Floyd Mayweather Jr. has always been comfortable playing the villain role, and a fight with Mike Tyson could challenge his legacy while still showing his confidence and skill.
And why we can, and then get out of the sport. But with these two, they're multi-millionaires. And I want to get into the tail of the tape and talk about exactly the records and all of that stuff with it. But first, I just want to say, I believe that these are doing this for different things. Mike Tyson is doing it purely for the money. Purely for the money. Floyd is doing it for the money as well, but also I believe Floyd's doing it for that limelight. You've seen the numbers that Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, got. And I think this is the most viewed fight of all time. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I might be wrong in saying that, but I'm sure it was. It was hosted on Netflix. And Floyd's been one in the past with his ego that he wants to just, be in that limelight all the time. And when you're not in the limelight all the time, you want to have...
Tony Jeffries says Floyd Mayweather Jr. return is driven by ego, as he cannot accept being overshadowed, especially after Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Hook right here. Right here, hook. Hook here. Hook right here. Slide and drop. Punch it, wait till here we go. Drop. Walk it. Pitch it. 6. Pitch it. Watch it. I step back like I have my distance. That's why I step. See, I have my distance. Fighters don't know their distance. You gotta know your distance.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. trains intensely in camp, moving with remarkable sharpness and agility, while looking surprisingly youthful and showing the speed and precision that defined his prime. Floyd pounds the heavy bags with power and precision, showing his speed, technique, and relentless focus.
Mayweather's taking on Mike Tyson of all people. That's the most money motivated thing I've ever heard. It's utterly bizarre. And I don't want to see Mike Tyson anywhere near the ring again, especially after that Jake Paul fiasco. This whole thing's incredibly weird. I don't like it. I'm a proper boxing fan, and these fights to me, this OAP stuff they've got going on when they bring back these old fighters for one more go at each other, it's just not something that I particularly enjoy. Now look, it's going to be on Netflix. It's probably going to be a massive event. I'm probably going to end up covering it because they are two former champions of note and it is going to go on their professional records. But if you thought the first fight wasn't particularly entertaining, I can't imagine this one's going to be much better. The one thing I will say is that I believe Pacquiao's in better condition than I realized after the effort he put in against Mario.
Analyst Henry strongly questions the direction boxing is taking as legends return for exhibition bouts, pointing out that Manny Pacquiao is set to face another opponent, while Floyd Mayweather Jr. is linked with Mike Tyson, and saying these matchups feel driven more by financial opportunity than sporting necessity, while viewing the situation as strange and uncomfortable, especially when older fighters return with more concern. Around Tyson after his recent fight with Jake Paul, which I'll read.
Had a proper fight in such a long time, which you could argue means he won't be as sharp in the ring. But then on the other hand, Pacquiao's had way more fights than Mayweather has, so you could argue he's got less left in the tank. It's difficult to figure out what it means for either guy, and we don't really know which way it's going to go. But I guess, if I'm being really honest, as much as I don't love it, there's always going to be a little bit of intrigue there. Kind of don't like myself for it, but I'm just being honest with you guys. And I think if we want to have a real conversation about what this fight represents is a continued frustration around the truth about the first fight, which was that it came too late, and it turned into more and more of a cash grab. This fight embodies that to a whole new level. Even for the broadcaster Netflix, I don't believe they're truly invested in the sport of boxing. They'll take one-off big events that get them more subscribers, that increase their revenue, that increase their subscription base, but they don't really care about the sport. If they did, they'd be putting on a lot more events than just these mega fights that involve, influencers and fighters that are well past.
Henry admits the scale of the event will be enormous, especially with a platform like Netflix involved, and says despite criticism, there is curiosity while analyzing dekhein as the real story, questioning who has lost more sharpness, as Floyd has been inactive for years, while Pacquiao has endured more battles, creating uncertainty and intrigue, even for purists.
Talk about Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson in the Congo. Is that now scrapped? Why are they announcing this several months before the event? I mean, is it a massive build-up? I mean, when you think about it, most fights are announced 3 months, 4? before an event. This one, September. We are in February, people. Like, what is going on? I mean, what are Netflix doing? Netflix are kind of, obviously, they're picking up and putting on really random stuff. Like Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. If you are an MMA fan, that fight was supposed to happen way more than a decade ago. Way more than a decade ago. They're doing it now. Will it get big numbers? I guess it kind of will. They've obviously done the Jake Paul stuff. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Jake Paul versus AJ. They done massive numbers. Crawford Canelo, a serious fight, and then they're doing...
Adola raises serious questions about the reported clash between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson in Democratic Republic of the Congo, wondering if the event is truly happening or quietly fading away, while being puzzled by the early announcement with the fight scheduled for September and revealed in February, making the gap feel excessive compared to normal promotion cycles, and suggesting either a major global buildup or uncertainty, while also examining Netflix strategy of spectacle-driven matchups.
Massive Floyd fan. Like, my journey into boxing, obviously when I was young, it was very much Mike Tyson, but then it went and became a UK thing. The ITV days of, I don't know, Ben Eubank, etc., Michael Watson, and then eventually Joe Calzaghe, Prince Nassim, etc., etc. My reason for going back and watching American boxing is solely down to Floyd. Like, I was obsessed with everything Floyd Mayweather did. I thought he was a genius when it comes to marketing and a genius in the ring. Like, it's very rare that the two go together, which is why I think everyone kind of fell in love with Conor McGregor, right? Because Conor McGregor was a genius outside the ring in terms of how to sell a fight. And in the octagon, he actually proved that he can fight as well. Floyd, obviously on a completely different level, but you know what I mean? Very similar. Someone that talks the talk and walks the walk. And Floyd most certainly did.
The discussion highlights crossover ideas and the massive numbers from Jake Paul events as the platform focuses on mass appeal, while admitting the formula works even if it feels random, and describing admiration for Floyd Mayweather Jr., whose brilliance brought attention back to boxing, while calling him a rare figure who mastered both marketing and ring intelligence similar to Conor McGregor.
Mayweather had financial troubles because of the money he owed to the IRS, because of the terrible business and you know, real estate investments that he's made, and apparently some of these have gone under, and he is owed back rent, or he is owing back rent, and he is delinquent on a lot of payments for a lot of different things right now. These things seem to have added up for Floyd, and now it's pretty apparent that not only is he doing these, you know, bank robbery style exhibitions, but it looks like he absolutely needs to do it, which is very, very sad. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Floyd Mayweather as an individual outside of the ring, but I never want to see athletes have their money mismanaged or mismanage their own money so badly that they go broke in retirement, and it looks like that's kind of what's happening. And here's a snippet from Business Insider because it made me want to pay for the entire article.
Wade Plemons shares his honest view on Floyd Mayweather Jr. return, highlighting the tension between legacy and financial motivation, and explaining that seeing a fighter of his level return can feel underwhelming as it suggests profit over passion, while raising concern that his legendary career could be overshadowed by financial pursuits rather than achievement.
He strongly denies any kind of financial distress, but the headlines aren't slowing down. $54 million alleged dollars in debt. So it makes sense why they would want to do this, and it's strictly for money. Let's be honest. This is a clear money grab, but this is going to be a terrible fight. This is not going to be a fight that anyone outside of watching Mike Tyson walk to the ring and the idea that maybe he'll knock out the little guy in Floyd that Tyson for a long time didn't like. You know, for a long time called Floyd a small little angry man or a small little scared man because he couldn't walk his kids to school by himself, mainly because Floyd had, he kind of disrespected Muhammad Ali, who was Mike Tyson's favorite fighter and one that he would never put himself above. But Mike's 60 years old. And if there was a time for Mike to get him and knock him out or whatever, it never would have happened because they were in completely different weight classes and X, Y, Z. If you wanted to settle it outside of boxing, that's one thing, but now they're stepping into this exhibition. There's not going to be any weight classes.
Plemons rejects rumors about Floyd finances, saying claims of massive debt are exaggerated and misleading, while admitting the event is highly lucrative and money is a key factor, and describing it as a calculated decision balancing competitive spirit with opportunity, while calling it both a spectacle and a reflection of Floyd's careful career management.
These economic times, there's economic challenges. These corporations and companies, they're looking to make profit. And if they put out a pay-per-view And a lot of people, another thing is the fighters. I'm blaming the fighters too, because there's a lot of guys, they're not bigger than the fighters of yesteryear. That's why you can have a Floyd Mayweather and a Mike Tyson, whose brands are so big. This is going to be a big fight. It's going to be, just because it's a freak show, circus fight, whatever you want to say. Some people are going to be mad at it. I don't want to see it, blah, blah, blah. But the curiosity is always going to get the best of the masses, especially if they put this on Netflix or Amazon or whoever, right? And that's the reality. A lot of these new fighters, Gen Z fighters, people under 30, they're not marketing them.
Ariel Helwani shares a strong view on the fight, saying it is unnecessary and questioning the value of bringing fighters back at an advanced age, while calling it more spectacle than real competition and warning that both fighters are past their prime with risks outweighing benefits, while stressing that health should come first and highlighting the issue of former champions returning for publicity or profit, while noting age effects, speed, reflexes, and endurance, and saying the fight could damage legacy instead of enhancing it.
Going up against Floyd Mayweather, this guy was unbeaten as a fighter. He still physically has ring craft. He still physically can move about the ring and do what he has to do. I think for Mike Tyson, he's going to be very frustrated. He will want to lay a shot on him to get rid of him, but unfortunately, you slow down, Father Time gets the better of us all. And even though I think when it comes to a fan's favourite, I'm quite sure most of the fans I'd love to see Mike Tyson put Floyd in his place, and that's probably what will be the attraction as well. But you've got to remember, Mike Tyson's 59 years old. You've got to remember, Floyd Mayweather is still hitting the bag in the gym. He's still moving around, even though he's 48 years old. But you've got to remember, these guys are individuals, their fathers, their brothers, or whatever, and they still want to earn a massive chunk of money. Where's Mike Tyson? Whatever they're getting paid, where's Mike Tyson at 59 going to earn this kind of money? Where's Floyd Mayweather at this time of life going to make this kind of money? It doesn't matter what we say about legacy. These guys are still going to live. These guys are still thinking, you know what, I'll take the heat, I'll take the criticism, but you know what, my bank account's all right, my family's all right. And I know it's crude, and I know it takes the shine off it, but that's real talk. So these guys are now in a position where where people want to pay them a lot of money to fight each other. It's against somebody they don't like. So again, ego's going to get the better of common sense. With Mike, as far as I'm concerned.
Johnny Nelson gives insight into the situation, saying despite age, Floyd still shows speed, power, and precision, moving with sharpness, and looking impressive in training, while explaining that decisions to return are influenced by more than pride, including family finances and staying relevant, and reminding that these fighters are still highly skilled, capable of performing at an elite level with experience and talent.